Is anybody here? Anybody talking? Just make sure, see if you guys can hear me.
Can hear you fine. Hello, hello.
Wow, awesome. I have this weird thing that I have pods that like to connect to my phone when I'm not looking. So I picked this up and I couldn't hear anything or hear anyone. So I cleared that up. So it's good to see everybody. Glad that it's working. Just give it a minute while we're waiting for people to join us in here. Got lots and lots to talk about today. And some cool stuff to share. Let's see. I'm just catching up on the last little bit. Okay, good. Everybody knows that, the day before we all get together and put our thoughts into a document to kind of describe what we want to talk about, make sure we have, the agenda that Michelle leads us through. And you guys have people have listened long enough know that we're not always perfect. But we try to get stuff taken care of to give you guys the most information possible. And then, some of the other things we've been talking about since July, for the people that have also been listening in our Discord AMAs, we like to do what we call walk the talk, meaning when we say stuff, it's because it's true, and we don't ask you to believe it. We just ask you to watch and see what happens. Judge on the actions of the team, the product that's delivered, all that kind of stuff. So that's a pretty core value to our team. And we've been doing that. We've been doing an AMA every single Friday without a miss since the end of July. And what I love about it is that it's really we're getting to know the community even more, finding more and more people joining us now on Twitter that were just only on Discord before, and so it's really cool. And it's fun to see all the recurring faces in both places as well. Now I'm getting a little more familiar with Twitter. So how have all of our Townstar stage people doing? Are we all on stage right now? I think we're
Hello, hello. Are we missing
Hey
someone?
guys. Let's see.
Yeah, I think everyone's here.
I think we're all here. Okay, where's I'm not seeing Resource on stage.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, bugger.
She's in the audience.
Okay. Maybe it's gonna be like Top Boy just waiting till the last minute to jump in with some information. And okay. So let's see. How are we doing with everybody here? Hey, it's good to see everybody again. Everybody here on Twitter and then also Discord. I'm really looking for one person in particular. Anybody seen Willa Martin around? No, not seeing. Hey, but also on Discord, folks. Did you can you hear us okay? And also Twitter. How's the volume? Chime in, let us
Everything
know.
sounded good to me.
Okay. People let us know how the volume's doing. We're continuing to experiment. I think we've got it about right this time. Very particular way I hold my iPhone in front of my face. Okay. Volume's great. Thanks, Griffey. Yay, Ed. Okay, good. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Welcome, everybody, to the Townstar AMA on December 9th, 2022. Boy, we got a chock full event today. Not like last week wasn't just full. I remember some people's heads exploding because of all the stuff we talked about and shared with everybody. We got some more today. And to that end, I'm going to go ahead and let our wonderful MC, Michelle, take us away. And let's get going. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, happy Friday.
Yeah.
Let's
Right. Yeah.
let's go over what happened this week in Townstar Live. It was a big week. We had a lot of new stuff go into the game, a bunch of new buildings. We have four new buildings: the Santa's Factory, the North Pole Creation Lab, the Wizard's Workshop, and the Master Wizard. And 10 new crafts for everybody to play around with. We get the bicycle, the boom canes, the enchanted object, glue, ice block, lights, magic powder, molten glass, mystic matter, and a rocking horse. So sorry that I'm yelling too loud. I will move my phone farther away from my face. I just get excited. That's all.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff. That's a
yeah, it was
lot
a
of stuff.
really, really big update, and everything seems to have gone really well. There wasn't a lot of bugs reported. Everything went in very smoothly, which is awesome. We did fix some bugs this week also. So Ornament 7 now works from the treasure chest. So you don't have to mint it anymore for you to get that. I think it's like a 1.5% reduction in global wages for anybody who has that still in their treasure chest or on ETH. The disappearing HUD got fixed when you clicked on the production monitor. That was happening for some people as well. So that is fixed now. And we adjusted the destroy cost for the ornament bonus for marshes and scrubs, which had gotten missed the first time, but is fixed now. So what else got added this week here? We got the new cold proximity. I know Mal's been talking a lot about that. There's a lot of stuff in the pins and Discord as well, and there will be a lot more information about cold as we get more into it. Right now, it's just a few buildings that give off colds. The NFT versions give more cold than the in-game buildings. And you do need cold to craft ice blocks currently, but more stuff will come with cold in the future. I think the only other update that I have is that there will be a 10 days of play in December NFT like we have been doing every month. This month it's a candy cane storage. So in order to qualify for that, you have to play 10 days, make a total of 25 trades. I think it's one trade a day at least. And then you'll get that NFT. Or if you have a Townstar node and you run it for the 6-hour minimum for at least 10 days, you'll get the uncommon candy cane storage. I
Cool.
think that's really all I have. I know that we're looking into FPS issues. I don't know if Resource has any other updates about that.
Resource, you're muted.
Engineers have identified what they think is the
Resource, are you there?
Knock, knock.
Oh, that's hilarious. I was just talking and just talking away. Okay. So FPS. Let's try this again. The engineers are aware of the issue and they think that they've found the root cause. We're working on trying to do some improvements anywhere we can to fix up the FPS. But that's probably going to take us a couple of weeks or so. So look out for that. But we definitely are aware of it, and we're actively looking at trying to fix it. Well, improve it. We can't totally fix it in this current engine, but anything is an improvement, right?
Yep. Yep. So lots of work on there. We heard the message from everybody, checking into it multiple ways, right? Resources. You've been working on that for a while. Is it an object that's in the game? Is it just a accumulation of issues? All kinds of things.
It is an accumulation of issues because with the way the engine works, Play Canvas, it's anytime we put new art and new animations into the engine, it slows it down just a little bit. And so over the last year, we've added an awful lot of stuff. So that's slowing it down, but primarily it's in the particle system, and that's what we're experiencing the issues at, which is animations, things like this. So we're looking to see how we can improve that system without having to rewrite it. So, stay tuned.
Yeah. Thanks, Resource. Anything else that we have on Townstar Live? No. Okay.
No, not that I can think
What's
of.
next?
Well, we can either move on to Godot. I think that's what's next. Yeah, Townstar Godot update.
Let's
So
do
we don't
that.
have work on today, so I don't know who wants to take all of that.
Oh my goodness, who's here? Who's going to take all of this? Do we decide? Is that like, whoops? I know he's off taking care of some family stuff. He's got a really fun day with his kids. So, heck, I can jump on this. We've got something that we wanted to drop into Discord and Twitter to share. Is that right?
I
Yeah,
believe
I
it.
can definitely get that ready.
Okay. Well, why don't you? While that's being fired up, I'll just jump down the list. I'm not going to do anywhere near as good of a job as Volcron did, but we're going to drop a video that shows a lot of the updated work that's been done by the dev team in the last week. You guys know Volcron Usually puts together something magical for everybody to watch. I saw it last night as he was prepping it. It looks really cool. Some of the things you're going to see in there in the video, the new production monitor, just tons of NFTs, NFT crafting as well. And you're going to kind of see a big full board of stuff. So that's exciting. And take a moment and look at that when it gets posted up there, because it's, oh, there it is. You can see that Farmer Michelle just posted there on Twitter. Excuse me, on Discord. Because you're going to really get to see again all of the hard work that the Godot team is doing, putting in features into the game, fixing up stuff, fixing bugs, and just pulling everything together. Some of the things that you won't see in the video is there's a ton of work on the admin tools. We've talked about before how important that is when players have problems. We want to be able to respond to them quickly. A bunch more automated testing is happening right now. We're getting cool cheats for QA in there. Oh, and that's one of the things you'll see in the video. For QA, we have a 60x speed button that we could run the town at, so that everybody doesn't have to wait for all the timers to go off, and we can get through the testing much faster. So let's see what else there. Again, a lot of software architect reviews. Work continues on in terms of how do we make sure that we can have a very efficient pipeline for making game updates, data updates in the game, so that we we don't have to release a new version every time we want to make a tweak to the data, make either a tuning tweak or maybe add some new data for new metas and new competitions. Musashi, do you want to share a little bit about some of the stuff that you've been doing kind of behind the scenes related to data and making sure that that pipeline works really well for launch? You're muted there.
Sorry,
I
I'm
say,
having internet issues.
oh, okay. Let's see. I just asked if you wanted to share a little bit about the work that you're doing behind the scenes in terms of making the design data pipeline flow, if you will, set up and working for launch.
Yeah, sure. Working hard with the engineers and also with Mal and Michelle to get their requirements. Trying to basically give them the tools that they haven't had before in the older version to be able to produce um, competitions better, faster, with more options. So I think that Mal is really excited about it. He can talk more about it, the new options that we'll have, but we're expanding our thinking into, well, since we have these tools, what can we do? Can we do more competitions, more complicated, give more information to players in the game? I think that you'll see in the video that there's starting town, and it's not visible right there, but in the starting town setup, you can actually touch the cards of the surrounding tiles, super tiles, and get proximity effect information, right? So that's something that in the current version you just have to guess, I guess, but now you can actually see it, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to create more things like that they're doing right now with gold, way easier, right? So those are kind of the things that we're working on to make everything faster and hopefully with way less bugs.
Cool. Hey, Mal, did you want to jump in and share some of those notes that Musashi just talked about?
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading the Discord. I always get carried away in that. Yeah, it's just really exciting to have the freedom. One being the more events being a good one right now. Sorry, I need to cough. Sorry. Right now we're quite limited. We're kind of fixed on a cadence, and it's a big deal to change it. It'd be nice to have those fun events. It's nice to be able to change a variety of things and keep it fun, but just change, from the metas are pretty standard in a sense. They can change in some ways, but that's only because of the amount of effort it would be to actually play around with the cool things and make it fun. So just having that option's great. I'm sure people are excited about no land rush. You don't have to be sweating over bots and whatever else, internet connections, 60%. It'd be nice, I'm sure, for everyone on that one. So there's just loads of exciting things on all there. Obviously, the new engine that comes there and how we're going to do it. So The information provided, I'm really excited about, because that is something, as Pablo said there, you just don't get that luxury of knowing the exact gas, the exact trade timer. And obviously we plan on making that like sort of the options in there, so you can strategize based on your option. And just knowing the information of the meta, 24 hours, whatever in advance, it being there, little card, everything on it. I just think that's great. Anyone can turn up and just see it, see all the events. We can spin up fun ones. I'm told it's very easy to make an event. So I'm really excited for the ability to just be like, hey, let's just do a crazy one. And it just be for fun or whatever else. Test new crafts like these ones here. It would have been nice to done a few pre-competitions while we were all waiting for the main one, for example. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
can I add something there?
Yeah.
I think that one of the main things that you'll notice, and Mal just touched on that, is that you will be able to see probably all the competitions of the month right away. So you'll know from the beginning exactly when each one is starting. Hopefully, we can avoid the issues that you found sometimes, that the competition is starting and then, oh, we need to wait a little bit longer, or we need to release, or you have to refresh um, the game, right? So right now we'll do um, a data release, and you'll immediately see there are all these competitions coming out, exactly when they're starting, what's the information on each one of them, what do I need to build. So everything should be more clear and with less hackiness, hopefully.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Did we get, I know I had seen one of our screens and I can't remember if it was internal or not, that showed the graphics for multiple competitions happening at once. Was that in that video? I'm looking for it right now. I don't, maybe we didn't do that, did
It's
we?
it's in the video that I saw from Bullcrun. I'm guessing that's the
Okay.
one they just released.
Yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah, if it's not, we have a screenshot of it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. And like we said, unfortunately, Volcron's. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Farmer Michelle. So still early work, as the video says, but there's a ton of things going on, and a lot of hard work by the team, and a lot of love and care as well. So let's see. Let's take just a pause for a minute. That's all I have. Did anybody else have more updates on Godot? No? Okay. Well, before we jump on, let's just take some questions from Discord or from also Twitter. Atomic, if you're seeing stuff on Twitter, please chime in with it. And Mal Michelle, what are we seeing on Discord?
I see that question right here from was it Ribosome? Says, with Godot, will the competitions have specific start and end times like now, or will it be more like the NFT Guild's website where you can play when you have time within a certain window?
Musashi, you want to take that?
Yeah, I just answered that in detail. But yeah, it's fixed dates for everyone. So specific start and end dates, um, at least for now.
Okay, cool. So I saw a note, Rocket Unit, how do we communicate light paper feedback? I thought you were going to send me a note. I went to look today and I saw that seems like you might have sent something and deleted it, or it somehow got deleted. Just send it over. Send it over. What other questions do we have up there, guys?
See around the like how competitions. I see Grumpy asking about, will they be like, if you enter one competition, are you just locked only in that competition till it ends, kind of deal? No. It'd be similar to how we do it now, where you can be in another server and do stuff in there. But if you want to hop to another competition, you'd have to kind of go to the other one. But obviously on this one, you can close your browser and it can carry on. So, you can be in two competitions kind of deal, because some competitions might be much longer. We've spoken about like more endurance competitions versus our normal sprint ones. And that would require obviously having the ability to be in multiple competitions and stuff like that. So I'd be excited for that if that's your thing, doing more than one at once.
Cool. Other questions before we move on? Don't want to leave anybody behind. Grumpy has a question. Will you have to choose between competitions or play more at once? I think we just kind of answered that, right? In God-O, well, we have green trees and grass. Smoogie. Not quite sure. Not quite sure what that means. Wasn't there green grass and trees already?
It's the autumn theme.
Oh, gotcha. I like the brown. I like the fall colors. Gotcha. Anybody else before we move to the next step on our agenda?
Yeah,
Any other-
there's multiple NFTs and different. Yeah, you'll be able to use your NFTs in each competition that you're in, but depending on the rules of the competition, just to be clear. But if you're in two competitions and you own NFTs, obviously you can place them in both. As far as I know, anyway, there's no sort of it's locked in one server. Obviously, things are subject to change, and obviously check the rules of the competition first.
Got it. Isn't there a Smoogie? Isn't there a white version now that you can look at? Right? Yeah. King Drac. Of course, you got to be salty. They're dodging the question. Time is never constrained. God, don't be salty. But we did say we were going to wait till Willow Martin shows up. Does he happen to be here in Twitter? Willow, are you here? I don't know. I don't see him.
He's
Grumpy.
gone missing.
Where is he? Oh well, I
What do
guess
we
we'll.
do?
I don't know. I guess we'll skip it. King Drac. We wanted to talk about it, but he's not here.
Oh, blame Willow. Yeah.
Blame Willow. Actually, so let's talk about launch dates. What do you think, Moise? You think we should do that? Talk about some details of when this thing's going to be available and how we're going to roll it out to people. Maybe. I guess so. Okay. Go find Willow Martin. I guess you guys could talk to him later because we're just going to jump on it. So, not going to beat around the bush. We're targeting end of January for the launch. Yep, end of January. We're hoping to have it done sooner and surprise everybody. But yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer than expected. And now I know some people are going like, wait a minute, why should we believe you? And I know somebody's going to be salty out there and go, oh, you never make your dates and all that stuff. And, I don't know, whatever. Why am I going to talk about stuff and just kind of be crabby about it? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. You don't have to believe us. You don't have to. We're all working hard. And, but I would encourage you to reflect on what you guys already know. All the game info we shared, the videos, the updates, the pictures, the AMA content, right? Just tons and tons and tons of information you shared. Like, right, Rocket. You don't Rocket units don't believe us. Don't. I'm not gonna ask you to believe us. I'm just gonna say watch, right? You guys know how we've been operating since July, walk the talk, keeping the promises we make, fulfilling some of the promises that were made before, right? And so that's what we're gonna do. And you're like, yeah, but dev teams, game teams always slip. Yeah, a lot of them do. But I can tell you what we're gonna do in this process. And without asking you to believe, we're just gonna tell you stuff, right? Kind of invite you into the development process a little bit more, maybe than some of you are used to, and share some of the inside baseball stuff, right? And so that end, you can, again, you don't have to believe us. You just watch what we're doing. So first off, we shared that big giant video today, right? You've got that. We talked about the work we're doing on the scheduling. And, our producer and I and Fulcron, we've been meeting all week. So I can tell you this, 50% of our dev team's going to finish their feature work on or before the first week of January. Oh, by the way, we're giving everybody, all of our team off the Christmas week, as we call it, between Christmas and New Year's. So some people are going to be finishing up right before Christmas. Some people are going to be finishing up right there after Christmas. 75% of the dev work is going to be done by week 2 of January, right? And then in week 3, everybody's going to be pretty much done except for someone who has some very nebulous ongoing tasks in terms of trying to make stuff work on mobile and, trying to solve some unknown problems and a little bit of vacation time built in there too. So that's the schedule we're tracking it. And if you guys know anything about project management, you can tell as I'm talking about all of this, 50% done by the first week of January, everybody done by the third week, the rest of the people in the middle, that the schedule's not very load balanced yet. And that's okay. That's okay, because the other thing that we're going to be doing in this is not just finishing dev work, of course, but actually fixing bugs, doing tuning, tweaking, checking out some of the new ideas that we thought of and making sure that they work well enough to be released, right? And we also have some extra people we're going to bring on. Not a lot of help, but it's like a light cavalry coming in to help us to fix bugs, do some features, and get that work done. So there's a lot of work that's happening, and I hope that you guys can see as we share more and more of this information, it's just not some sort of project plan built on a wing and a prayer and a hope. All right. And so what comes with this launch? I think King Drac, full migration or soft launch. I'm not sure what you mean when you say by full migration, but here's what our intention is. Sometime between now and the end of January, we'll have a very limited, maybe an allow list access for some people to come in and test and poke around and try some stuff. We will have full jury support in there, bridging your ETH NFTs in and out is the plan. So I know some people are wondering about how that will work, and some new features and some new gameplay that we're trying to layer in on top of everything. So it's a lot of work, not only on the product, but also on the dev tools, the admin tools, the marketing, and sharing the news and announcement with everybody. So that's the long and the short of it. Let me see if I missed anything. Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, we're going to do this in a way that keeps the team healthy, right? Because we're going to give everybody the Christmas week off. Family time's important, and we want everybody to come back refreshed. This is a marathon, not a sprint, right? So let's see. Did I miss anything? There we go. So let's go ahead. Let's pile on the questions. Who has questions about this? 50% done when they haven't even started. Well, yeah. Hey, Ed77, he says, I know project management. People say they're 50% done when they haven't even started. Well, I sat down and went through all of the GitLab tickets with our producer and Volcron the last 3 days. Every single one of them. We went through each and every one of them, as well as all the bugs. So, yeah, everybody's working. And everybody is a very dedicated team. Let's see. What else? King Drac, did that answer your question there? About full migration versus soft launch? Maybe. Anybody else got questions? Oh, Ed77, earnings end of January. Our goal, and unless something breaks in our testing, is to have earnings turned on when we go live. And then you say, well, what does that mean? It sounds like a giant hedge. Well, hey, look, if we do an allow list test and something breaks, maybe we'll expand that allow list test. Maybe we'll expand the testing a little bit so that we can make sure everything works when we do turn it on, right? But yeah, that's the goal. What else? Rocket unit, you missed. What I said is send me an email with your, or send me a message with your feedback. I don't know if you caught that. Any other questions? Mal, Michelle, are you seeing any questions that are popping up? Anything I missed? What do you guys think? Good news? Yes, hopefully. News built on reality and a lot of hard work and care from the team. Grumpy, good questions. Have we looked through them yet? No, that's on our list. That's on our list. That'll come in the balance and tuning pass. Right now, and you can see in that video, getting everything into the game, right? And once we get it all in, then we can start tuning and tweaking. Very good news. Okay, thanks, guys. Somebody was saying a few weeks ago, February 14th, right? I can't remember who. Was that you, Dubstep? Yeah. When can you provide more guidance on Town Point earnings? Should we expect rebounds before launch? Yeah, before launch. Moon Maniac. Rachel, are you seeing anybody there on Twitter sharing questions?
Nope, nothing my side.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So well, let's maybe it's time to move on to our agenda. And as more people come up with any kind of questions and thoughts, we can always circle back. What's next, Michelle?
I think that we're moving on to the Q&A. I know the first Q&A I have is how long after launch will earnings start?
Yeah, we just kind of mentioned that.
Yep.
We'll be working to have it up and going when we turn on full live for everybody. And as I said, we're going to try to do turn on some community testing before then, let people get into a little bit, and then just make sure everything works. But that's the goal. That's why we've released the white paper, the light paper. That's why we spent so much time trying to make sure it's correct. So we're building into the game. There's a lot of work that goes behind that, not just putting the software together.
The only other question I really have is why is there only one craft on metas, which I'm sure Mal can take.
Mal, go for it.
Always so hard to get back from the Discord. I feel like we're gonna swap these apps. It's crazy on the phone. What was that one again, Michelle?
Why are there only one craft on metas?
Oh my god. So we've been dealing with this for so long now. So the idea that you can just pop two crafts in and it's not just one or the other, it's nuts. It just doesn't work like everyone just assumes it does. The twice when it's really happened has been accidental, which is hilarious, and that's when a bunch of stuff kind of got through in there. It's not that we can't do it and we don't try. It just always turns out a whole, you go through the effort of trying to get multiple metas in, and then everyone within 5 seconds is like, well, I'm only going to do this one. Because it is obvious, because no two tier 5s are the same, no tier 4s are the same. Some crafts you could kind of maybe do it, and then it's just, if most people have a certain NFT, then everyone else is kind of at that point. Everyone's arguing over that, and then you try and do it for this way, and it's not good enough for the new players, and it just becomes really messy because how nobody likes to agree or be happy, and everything's got to be this or that, and trying to fight both sides, it's sometimes easier to just pick a center point and just have everyone go for that. So that's what we've been doing. Obviously, that's not just saying that we won't try or there won't be multi-metas in the future, but it's just not as easy as it sounds, because it with one wrong point change, it really is just, it's one or the other, and it ends up just being exactly the same as putting just one meta in anyway.
But now, have you thought about 5 metas?
Yeah, when metas now. Come on.
Come on.
I think we tried like 3 or 4 in at once, and that one turned out to be a wild one, but it was just because everyone went jet fuel, so one of those.
So there's a question from Exit West SF. Will you charge to move our NFTs to Godot? Well, there'll be an ETH fee, right? ETH gas fee, because they're based on ETH, and when you bring them over, yeah, so there'll be a fee on that. Just like spider tanks for the people who've migrated their tanks and spider tanks over, it'll be very much the same. It's on the chain there. There's more questions about, can you tell us how earnings work? Well, top level, I would say, first off, go read the light paper, and that'll tell you a lot. There's a lot of time spent and invested on that by Mysterious Week, myself, and Bitbender especially, to try to craft that right. But maybe, Mysterious, do you want to just share a little bit of a 2-minute high-level view on that for people who, kind of a primer for them to read that light paper?
Yeah, the light paper goes into the different buckets for ways to earn, like competing in competitions, having NFTs, Townstar nodes. Obviously, those are super important as well. So there's a bunch of different ways you earn in the new ecosystem. And then, do you need to play? Yes, you need to play Townstar in order to earn from your NFTs. So there's still this concept for now of completing a daily challenge to be able to earn from your NFTs. So all of that is kind of typical what you'd expect. But what's cool is that because we have these different buckets, our competitions will continue to improve. Daily challenges may continue to improve. So there's a lot of new work and thinking that can go in once we have the game on Godot. But there's right now the real the big effort is reaching, close to parity with what we have with our current Townstar Live game. So it's all, as much as we have a light paper and there's a lot of great thinking that's gone into it, if you go through and look at it, it's actually not too complicated. We didn't want to create something incredibly confusing that the community couldn't understand, and new players coming in would be, sad and upset because they couldn't even read the light paper. So we really tried to keep it something that both makes sense, but is also simple and easy to understand by the community. Any other questions on the light paper? I'm just catching up. So Ed777, will it be star-based like before, or will we have real quests? So we'll start as being star-based, but that's the cool thing, right? Again, we're trying to reach parity first, but then the the sky's the limit. We are sprinting really fast at getting this game live and out to you all, but then we continue to improve the game after that for a long time to come. So exciting stuff coming, but for now, just assume that's going to be pretty similar to the way it is.
Yeah. Let me jump in, kind of shift topics a little bit on famous games. I don't know if you've asked that twice, but you asked it, and I think I saw it up above. Will you be able to use your NFTs in Townstar Godot as they are right now? Yes. We'll read your ETH NFTs and use them. Now the whole thing is that when you move them over to Jiri, the idea is you'll have upgrade functionality and all the things that we can provide by moving into that new format. So yes, you can. Let's see. Somebody asked about upgrading NFTs and moving back to Bridge. I guess that's Paramim. Yes. We talked about in Godot, and as we shift into more of the forever gameplay, the idea of upgrading your buildings, and kind of like giving them new features as you get upgraded to different levels, leveling them up essentially. So yeah, that's there. Maybe what we should do, I'm thinking, Michelle, is maybe that next week we kind of plan just kind of a review again on what Townstar Godot is going to be, and then how we're going to be evolving into the future forever type of gameplay. That might help catch everybody up.
I think that's a great idea.
I'm also seeing this question for Vulture. Am I heading in the right direction by asking the remit allocation as part of the town reward distribution is Geary based? So yes, one of the really cool things about Gala, its games, and Townstar is that it's going to be on Geary. We have our own blockchain. It's going to allow us to do things that no other game in the Web3 industry is going to be able to do, which is super duper exciting. So yeah, the plan is to make everything Geary based because it's going to unlock so much in terms of what Townstar can do. So while right now a lot of those things are pretty simple and enable a lot of the same things that you would see typically and what we've seen in Townstar, the sky's the limit beyond that. So I don't want to go into too much more detail there now, but just saying that the fact that it is Geary based is something I'm incredibly excited about.
See, other questions. East West SF, how do you plan on getting Townstar player numbers back up to what it was a year ago? We got plans. We as always, we'll talk about plans. We're ready to execute on them and announce them and have in place. But I think you can see, without us even talking about those plans, all of the investment and time and everything that we as a team and Gala as a whole is putting into this project. So you can kind of imagine we just wouldn't be doing that if we just wanted to keep the player space the same. So let's see, what other, now Michelle, you seeing other questions that we should pick up before we move on to the next section?
I see Ed777 asked if ETH NFTs will earn or if only the Geary-based NFTs will earn once earning is back.
Right. Yes. No. That's one of the things that you're gonna have to do is migrate over to Jiri because the earnings will be in Jiri, or excuse me, town-based Jiri going forward. So you will have to do that. We won't be paying out any more ETH-based town. So it'll all be over in Jiri.
And there are lots of benefits to that, but yes.
Oh God, yes. Oh yes.
again, not going to go through too much of it now, but there's definitely benefits.
What are you going to do to fix the brown town effect every time we refresh? What is the brown town effect? Are you talking about the fall colors?
No, we have I guess it's a bug. It's only affecting certain people and not all people, but some of the Miranda skins, when you apply them, the texture for the floor of the town disappears and you can see like through the town. We have looked into it. Some of them I think have gotten fixed. Some of them are still having some issues, but it's not happening for everybody on every browser. It's just certain people. So, I mean, we are looking into it, but it's not affecting gameplay at all. It's just a visual bug. So it may not get prioritized and get fixed before Godot. There are bigger things to look at, like FPS issues, which are a much bigger deal than invisible ground underneath your NFTs.
Got it. Some people have already answered G2KM. Will it be named Jiri? I will let them sort that out. Somebody asked about PD, a marketplace, I think. Was that, yeah, when do we get a Jiri marketplace? I know there's work going on. That's not our team, so we're not in the, it's not right for us to comment on the work that's being done, but I'm sure when they have news, they'll announce that. Okay, so what is that, Smoothie? Everybody jumping in the hole. Tyrell, yeah, we just answered that about the marketplace. Okay.
And the cool thing about a marketplace is that it could not be just one. Anybody can create marketplaces
That's
off of
true.
the blockchain.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
just like Ethereum, you have many marketplaces. As we continue on, I'm guessing the same thing will be true with Geary.
Yeah, LV Postman, not sure which exchange is going to pick that up. Obviously we have talks about it all the time, but that's just not something that we talk about on here. Announcements will be made when that happens. So let's go on to the next section. We'll keep looking for questions here, but let's go on to the next section, Michelle.
I think we're moving on to leaks. I don't know if Mel wants to leak some stuff first or if he wants me to leak some stuff first.
2 leakers? Oof, awesome.
Sorry, I apologise for the silence when asked. I was just dealing with things on Slack, so I couldn't respond or read the Discord. So it's up to you if you want to go first, Michelle, or whatever else. I don't mind.
I'll go first. So starting next week, I don't know the exact date, probably, I don't know, maybe Monday. I need to figure it out still. We're going to have another Gleam campaign starting on Twitter. So definitely be on the lookout. We're going to give away 12 NFTs, one every day for 12 days straight. So you're going to want to be a part of that. As soon as we get that finalized and set up, I will for sure get it posted, probably sometime this weekend. So definitely be watching the Townstar Twitter and the Gala Games Twitter because they'll be there. That's, I think, all I've got. But the 12 NFTs, I can list them if you want to, but it'll take me a while to find them. I'll probably just list them in the announcement when the announcement goes live.
That's cool. 12 NFTs.
I suppose we can list a few, share a few of them. Some of them pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a UFO skin in there. There's both a big warehouse and the big storehouse are in there. There's some paved roads, some legendary trees. I think there's a winery and a fabric plant and a cakery and a bakery. I feel like that might be all of them from memory. But you'll have a chance to win them if you do the Gleam.
Those are cool. And when does that start?
It should start on the 13th. I think it's going to run from the 13th to the 24th, and we're going to pull a winner every single day for 12 days straight.
So it's like a 12 days of holiday kind of thing?
Straight 12 days. 12 days of Townstar giveaways.
12 days of Santa is coming to town for Townstar players.
Yes. Yes, Muji Gleam.
Awesome. What's next?
Well, so it was kind of hilarious because it was already leaked last night, wasn't it, Michelle? I don't know how many people know though, but I've seen Grumpy posted the new thing today, and I was just like, ugh. So I don't actually have a leak.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, so Magic Powder's being tweaked. As you all know, it's going to 25k. Removed a pumpkin, added a brine. I'm not even excited anymore. Only joking. So you'll notice this tweaks 20 seconds now and not a minute. There's a pumpkin taken off because boo, 10 water, even though they've been tweaked so many goddamn times. They're fine, but it's one pumpkin, two brine, two strawberries. I have also removed the wood from strawberries and peppermint crops because the whole logic thing and storage, I appreciate that it's just the far simpler option than trying to figure out a logger logic, etc. So just to repeat all of that again, 25k, well, 25,500 for a magic powder per one. It'll be 20 seconds to craft one. It'll take one pumpkin, two brine, two strawberries, and you do not need wood for strawberries or peppermint. And you'll obviously be needing peppermint if you can see the new crafts in a meta coming up. But that'll be a core change on the crops with the wood. That doesn't apply to grapes, but it does apply to the peppermint and the strawberries. As Postman's just saying, it's, well, grapes are a bit different. Those metas are well different. Not going to convince me there. But the strawberries and peppermints are going to be a core change, that there'll be no wood on those. And that's for the magic powder. And boom canes. So it was going to be a rocking horse meta, and then the more I looked at the dates, it was like, maybe we should just do the boom cane meta, you know, because it's like the town start sort of New Year's theme. It's nice, you know, get some fireworks if we can in the game. We were hoping to have an animation of fireworks, but I don't think it worked out. I don't think Rheosaurus is there to tell us, but we tried to get fireworks in. I don't know how that is, but I feel like with it being New Year's, it's a nice meta, just doing some fireworks, which are, of course, made in a really cool, mystical, magical way. So I don't know what everyone else thinks of that, but I thought it would be really fitting that on New Year's Day, you'd be basically finishing up your firework meta, which are called boom canes. Yeah, I see some gifts there.
Nice, Rocket. Hard not to watch to see that. It's hard to unsee that. Yeah, Mal, I like your change there. We talked about it. I think boom canes just kind of seem more fitting than a rocking horse. So that's brilliant. Not that we can't do the rocking horse later. It is cool, but just nice theme. Good choice.
Yeah, well, it's just swapping it round. It was originally going to be rocking horse, then boom cane. Now it's going to be boom cane, then rocking horse. So it's
Right.
just more fitting for the timeline that it runs on.
Cool. What else? Anything else, Mal? Feels like last week was such a huge amount of stuff, and this week is another huge amount of stuff.
Well, the problem is we put everything in. So
Yeah.
I think I don't know if I was joking with this with Michelle, but there's nothing to leak anymore because we put it all in the game. It's just, 10 crafts is a lot and 4 buildings, and normally that would be kind of like split up and chunked and, different things. But so it was kind of like a big one there. So they've kind of got it all. There is the kind of, I suppose I could leak to the legendary Santa Factory, which we're going to speak about very shortly. Has had its shade removed. So there'll be no shade on the legendary Santa Factory. Just want to point that one out. So that was a change that was made that it wasn't clear the first time we posted about it. So just going to say that now on the AMA. But I can go straight into the sale if you want. I don't think there's any more leaks. I feel like there isn't anyway.
Yeah, let's go. Let's jump into the sale. We're getting a little bit long into the hour here. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, so it's the legendary Santa Factory. Why is it cool? Well, it has 4 passive cold, no shade. So imagine the day when, which I'm hoping is very soon, there are crops that are more winter themed crops. Some crops are grown in the winter. So passive cold will obviously be a thing involved with crops. As I've mentioned previously, You need it to make ice. Ice will be a building requirement for cold-based things, as well as crafts, as well as maybe needing passive cold to make certain, an ice landing duck function for all we know. There's so many possibilities, but the nice thing about the Santa Factory having no shade is when crops need cold, you don't want a shady building. Nobody likes a shady building, so that will be solved by not having that. So there'll be 250 in the store. Let me just double check, because we've already posted this. If people didn't know this, it can all be found in the announcements with a bit of a scroll up. There will be 250 in the store at $260. That'll be the Legendary Santa Factory. You'll be using that Legendary Santa Factory this meta. So you'll be making bicycles in there. So really handy to have. Obviously, it's a lot less wages. I haven't got my own specs in front of me, which is shameful. I just want to make sure I get them right, because we all know what happens when we say them wrong and have to change later on. So the unit, so it's going to have 1,250 wages with a unit speed of 11. So pretty crazy when you consider what all this will be once December ends and everything goes up. But this is a nice low wage building in the sense of what the reality is for it, and an 11 speed unit, which is incredibly fast. So you'll be seeing the elf foreman, chief elf, running around your town, grabbing what you need for those bikes. So I'm really excited for the Legendary Santa Factory. I'll say once more, 250 in the store. Is that right? Yeah, and $260. And remember, if you buy one of each, so we already done the Master Wizard, there's still some left. If you buy one of those, a Legendary Santa Factory and a Wizard's Workshop, which is coming next Monday, you will then get the North Pole Creation Lab for free. And I don't believe there's a limit on that. So if you buy 10 of each, then it's 10 Creation Labs. That's
Cool.
me done. Yeah.
Okay. So I see a question from RTS Gamer with Godot. During the new Town Star Gala, we'll probably start advertising your new players, but shouldn't we start now with social media? Hey, that's a great idea. And I can tell you, we don't have a lot of details, but was your thing seeing things like Gleam, and some of you are wondering why we're on Twitter all the time instead of just only on Discord. Obviously, those things are on our mind, and those processes are starting. Let's see, Mal Michelle, you seeing any other questions out flowing through? Anything on Twitter that's popping up? I want to make sure that we give people on Twitter a chance. I've got Discord up on my screen, but I know there's a lot of people listening on Twitter, just a ton of people actually.
I'm not actually sure where you find those questions. So someone who knows Twitter. I'm not a Twitter guy.
Maybe Atomic can chime in.
No, we're still very quiet on our side. I think everybody's asking in Discord.
Got it. Okay, what is Gleam? We talked about what Gleam was. People are asking about Voxes. We've talked about Voxes a lot in the past. What we're going to do is, just like we said, every NFT, look at every single NFT, not just Voxes, but everyone, and look at them in terms of the parameters that they use, that they had in the past, and how we can make sure we keep the economy healthy. And I know, don't start, getting in wars. I know some people really like Voxes, and some people like them a lot less. So, but I think, Vox is a central part of Gala. And of course, we like to support all of our brethren games and efforts across the company. So they'll be there. We just have to make sure that it works really well for the game. And
I
then,
see
go ahead.
I was just saying, Top Boys in the chats. Someone asked about a purchase limit for the Legendary version. I'm not sure, but I know Top Boy will have that answer. You'll find him in the chat.
So Naxis, is however you say that. Let's ask that question of Volcron when he comes back next week. I know there's a lot of work going on right now to find APIs not only for our automated testing systems, APIs for the different servers, and for our designers to use that. And in the past, we've talked about different APIs for third parties, but he'll be the one that has the latest update on that. In general, our goal is to get the game out, get our customer service tools and everything in place so we can really run a very strong live ops after we launch. So it's not a top priority, but you know, if you know my history, I really, really believe in community involvement, community development. You know, it's great to see levels and work going on 10, 15, 20 years on a game we made 10, 15, or 20 years ago. It's really awesome. I want us to be able to do that with Town Star as well. Dark Magic is giving is giving some hints on how to find questions on Twitter. Any other questions here before we jump out? We're coming to the end of an hour, and just want to make sure we touch on any last minute things. Which, by the way, while we're waiting for that to come up, here's a little history. As we started talking about doing AMAs every week, Mal, Michelle, you'll remember this. Mysterious Week, probably you too, but we sat there and said, my gosh, we only used to do AMAs once every month or once every 6 weeks. How are we ever going to have enough to talk about in the AMA? And it's a little nervousness, but you know, we started thinking about it. It's like, well, if we don't have a lot to talk about in the AMA, maybe we better ramp up production. Maybe we better, you know, move a little quicker as a team and think a little deeper about how to deliver better experience to our players. And I think you guys can see how that's worked out since then. Because every week we start off, what are we going to talk about? And then we end up having a ton to talk about because of all the hard work and effort from the team that's going on. So let's see.
I was definitely, I was going to say, I was definitely, I'll admit I was one of those that thought maybe once a week was a bit too much. Thought the people would maybe be a bit like more hungry after AMAs, but it, you know, as you say, we actually do have a lot to talk about when we have them, which is nice, which was obviously shows that there's more going on and obviously it's being ramped up, which is what always makes me happy.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Seahorse. Any last questions before we jump off, guys? It's been a pleasure as always. People on stage, Townstar folks, anything for us to share?
The only other thing I'd like to call out is that you know, the next competition after bicycles will be boom canes, and the reward structure for that is the top 4,500 people. I know that we have people who aren't playing in our competitions and they're just playing in the regular practice servers. If you don't feel confident to be able to get in the top 1,000 during bicycles, start working on your boom canes now. There's certainly no harm in starting practicing early, and then you've got 3 weeks to practice boom canes, and maybe you can do really awesome in the boom cane competition. And that's, again, 4,500 people can win rewards. So for sure, jump into that competition.
Well, I'll leak something then, just to get it a bit more spicy. That competition will be for a ghost card I know people are definitely after. And I wonder if before I say it, someone can type it in the chat. If anyone can beat me to saying it.
Is there any way to kick Mal off the stage?
I can mute him.
Go for it.
So so the ghost card will be the one and only tree farm ghost card. It's been requested for the longest time there. Jedi got it. Oh yes, there we go. People know it. It's the tree one. It's about time. I felt like Christmas, or as close to Christmas, was the best time to actually do it. So boom canes, there's 4,500 places for it, as Michelle says. So you know you don't even have to do boom canes, I would imagine. You know, just feel free to try, and being in the Discord, you get loads of help. Like loads of help. People are always happy. There's plenty of community members who go above and beyond to share extra content and make content that's just specifically designed on educating you. So, you know, it's worth trying. You know, it's going to be a really nice ghost card. So you'll definitely enjoy it if you get one of those.
That's really cool. So we have leaks on top of our leaks, like double level leaks. Well, hey guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up now. One key point I want to make always to the community. We're really, really thankful. And that you guys are there and sharing your notes, sharing your ideas. And even more importantly, something came up this morning we saw where people were talking about, we come to the community and get so much help on getting started, just like what Mal said. Thank you guys for helping all the new players get up to speed, answering the questions. I know we can't be there all the time to help everybody as much as we want. And so your help is greatly, greatly appreciated. And you might remember what it was like to be a new player and have a lot of questions. So thanks for showing grace for all those people who are just jumping in as well. And then again, thanks for the team for all your guys' energy that you're bringing into this, the love and care that you're putting into all the hard work to both Town Store Live and Town Store Forever. I think things are looking really good for us with the new game and the current game. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Thanks everybody on stage, and we will see you guys the next AMA, and of course online too.